The production and costume department is made up of the dye department, who break down, dye, distress the textiles from the beginning or the costumes at the end. The millinery department, in charge of all of the hats and headdresses and jewellery, and the workshop where all of the sewing and cutting happens.
When a show's coming back, so it's a revival show, the designer doesn't need to be around so much because we already know from the existing costumes what they want. When it's a new show, you need a lot more discussion with the designer, and some designers sometimes even be in the workshop.
First thing I'll do is look at a measurement sheet and then a sketch like this. I'll pad up a stand to those measurements, and then we'll make something called a toile. So that was my toile for that shape. Then we'll fit that on the actor, draw any alterations on or pin any alterations to that toile, and then from that the pattern gets altered and the dress is cut and made.
Okay. When we revive a production, we don't always have the same cast. So we have to see if the existing costume will fit the current cast, or if it needs altering, or if it needs to be made from scratch.
Neck. Is there a shirt? Is there a shirt?
No, you'd just be wearing a t-shirt underneath.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Does that feel
That's
comfortable?
absolutely wonderful. When you sing, your neck expands a bit, you know, and you want your larynx. That's your larynx there. You want it to be sort of free, and you don't want anything constricting it. You want a bit of space.
The milliner is the person who makes the hats for the opera. It can be anything from making traditional hats, doing sort of headpieces. My job as a milliner has become more about doing prop costume things like making masks, doing things like these policemen's helmets, which I suppose sort of go a bit outside of being a normal milliner, because there's more vacuum forming and that sort of thing.
Sometimes I just get a designer that just has picked out a colour and I kind of know instinctively how to do it. You have to take little pieces off of that fabric and then I have to dry it so I can see what it's like next to the item I'm matching.
After it's been in the dye department, we'll send it to our maker, who turns it into a costume with all of the buttons and trims added onto it. It will then come back to Sharon to be broken down and have a bit more of a worn character feel added to it before we send it off onto stage.